Hi, my name is John Kim, and I'm a therapist who went through his own rebirth. I share my feelings and revelations. I believe in casual over clinical and with you instead of at you. I come unrehearsed on purpose because self-help doesn't have to be so complicated. So everyone's doing this whole what I will look like when I'm in my 80s filter. And of course, since I'm a follower, I decided to download the app and filter my face. Was not pleasantly surprised. Men do not age gracefully according to this filter. And I just kept doing it over. I did it like 20 times because I looked so bad. And by the 20th time, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until the end. I basically looked like Yoda. So I guess the lesson there is to stay away from filters, guys. It doesn't it's not going to help with your self-esteem. Well, here's the other thing. If you're using filters to enhance your appearance, that may give you a little bit of dopamine for a moment, but then when you look in the mirror, you're going to be disappointed a little bit, right? So just stay away from all filters. It's a distortion. Let's live in truth. Speaking of truth and distortions, I want to talk about some Buddhist psychology. 3 temperaments, 3 states, and of course I'm going to JohnKim it, meaning put it through my own filter. This is a different type of filter, one one that has poor English and a lot of stuttering and bird walking. That's the JohnKim filter, bringing it to street level and confusing you on the way. So there are 3 temperaments that lead to suffering, and they are, and I need to say these out loud because I'll forget. They are, the first one is, and I'm buying time because I'll by the way, when I do these podcasts, they're unrehearsed, right? That's the whole point of this. That's my rule. No notes, just turn on the microphone and talk to you. So that's why sometimes I show up like I'm on one. Okay, that didn't make sense because when you're on one, it means that you're not in a good mood, right? Yeah, that didn't make sense. I show up like I'm drunk. Maybe that, I don't know. Okay, so the first one is grasping. The second one, I'm going to get back to these. The second one is adversive. Adversive. I'm just going to say adversive. I'm going to go with it. The third one is delusion/confusion. Okay, got it. I have now cemented those in my brain. Let's roll with it. The first one, grasping. This is when you, and this stems from, desire, right? And in Buddhism, desire, I don't know how to explain it, but too much desire can become the root of suffering, right? So with grasping, if the core of your desire, and of course, desire is normal, but if you desire something so much that you lose your sense of self, then that can produce suffering. So if you've listened to my podcast or read my blogs or watched my videos, you know that this is something that I struggled with in my 20s and 30s, and it was one of the reasons why I was so unhappy is because I wanted these things, the things, right? The house, the car, the deals, the career, whatever. And that desire was so grand, I didn't see anything else but that. And it doesn't mean to not be ambitious, of course, right? I mean, working hard and going after your dreams I think that's amazing. But when you want something so much, whether it's a love or a relationship or a car, it doesn't matter. When you want something so much, you're losing your sense of self. When you're, willing to risk integrity and who you are, then you are grasping. And by the way, this is my interpretation. This is not. This is the JohnKim version of these 3 temperaments. It's my way into a conversation, right? That's what I'm doing here. I'm not claiming that this is what Buddhist psychology is. I'm piggybacking off of these concepts. Okay, so this, I talk about chasing and attracting, and when you're grasping, you are in chasing state. And I think whenever you're in a chasing state, you are powerless, because what you're chasing after has power over you. So it's something just to be aware of. And I think if you're in that state long enough, you can be in a suffering state. It happened to me. Okay. By the way, it doesn't mean to not want things, right? Like I still want a lot of the same things that I wanted when I was miserable. They just don't hang on my happiness, right? My joy, my sense of self, my happiness isn't contingent on those things. I believe that those things will come as a byproduct of me chasing my dreams and living a meaningful life and running toward my true north and purpose.
We'll be right back after this brief message.
If you're like me and you don't have a lot of time to go grocery shopping or to find amazing recipes, all right, to confess, I don't even know how to cook. You got to try Sunbasket. They deliver organic produce and clean ingredients straight to your door. They have everything from paleo to carb conscious to gluten-free, Mediterranean, even diabetes friendly, and of course, vegan meal plans. So they deliver these to your door, and you can choose from 18 weekly recipes. All their meals are delicious. Shrimp pad thai with rice noodles and sugar snap peas, or Hawaiian loco moco with teriyaki chicken and fried eggs. That's actually one of my favorites. Plus Sunbasket's 5-minute salad mixes for any easy lunch you'll crave day after day. So try Sunbasket and let me give you a discount code. Go to sunbasket.com/angry, all caps, ANGRY, and get up to $60 off. Visit sunbasket.com/angry, all caps, ANGRY, and you will get $60 off your first Sunbasket. I know I'm Asian, which means I don't have a lot of body hair. I have been called a dolphin before, but I still need to do some manscaping. So I want to tell you about Manscaped. They are number one in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Now look, why would you not use something that is number one in precision for down there? So make accidents a thing of the past and use Manscaped. Get 20% off right now, plus free shipping with the code, all caps, ANGRY, ANGRY, if you go to manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Trust me. Okay, the second one, aversive, the word that comes to my mind is judgment. So whenever you are judging, you are being narrow. Your growth is stunted, right? You can't be curious and judgmental at the same time. And curiosity, that is what's going to expand you. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about in your work, with your relationships, friendships, family, especially with family, we're very judgmental. When we are practicing judgment instead of curiosity, we are going from wide to narrow. Our world shrinks, right? And if you do that for too long, then there's suffering. So that's kind of my simple interpretation of that number two. And then number three is delusion/confusion. And there's two parts of this. I interpret this as one, everything in between our ears, right? Our thoughts, our perspective, our thoughts are what drown us the fastest, right? So our cognitive distortions, not living in the here and now. This is also something that I still struggle with it today, but not as much. This was a huge problem for me. I would always be living in time machines. I would always be playing back the past, obsessing about the future, having fear, anxiety, thinking, the sky is falling, setting myself into a fight or flight panic state, never living in the present, right? Never practicing mindfulness, never just using all of my senses and getting out of my head. And of course, this doesn't work out in relationships when you are in this state because relationships require you to be present, assuming you want a healthy, meaningful relationship. When you are in your head, you're invisible. You're not being, you're a cardboard cutout. So you're not a 3-dimensional living person, and instead you're merely existing. So that's one part of the delusion slash confusion. And then the other part is ambivalence. It's the dead fish for a handshake. It's uncertainty. It's not knowing who you are, where you want to go. It's putting who you want to be with before where you want to go. There's this saying that I've been saying for the last 7 years, and it's basically this: where are you going, and then who's going with you? If you reverse that order, you will be going alone. And that, comes from my own personal experience where when I was married, it was all about putting who's going with me first, right? Putting my ex on a pedestal, doing everything I can to make her happy, or what I thought. Obviously she wasn't, but and then where I'm gonna go, putting that in the backseat, or letting that ride shotgun. And I've gone through my long journey, and I've realized that where you want to go, where you're going, the dent you're supposed to make in this world, that should come before who you want to go with, or who you want to come with you, whatever, who you want to go on your journey with. And I think that a lot of people, they fall into this temperament of delusion, confusion, when they put other people before them, because when they do so, again, they are now becoming powerless. They are now exchanging their truth for membership, and I'm sure you've heard that before. I say it all the time. I will say that until the day I die, just because I believe it to the core. When you exchange your truth for membership, and it doesn't matter if it's to be a part of something or to be with someone, whatever that membership looks like for you, you are in a powerless state. You are chasing, and you are heading down a road of suffering. So ask yourself, is there a part of your life, or what area in your life are you ambivalent? And it's okay to not know, right? I mean, that's part of the journey. But when you start exchanging who you are to be a part of something, when you are putting when you're putting people, especially people that you're, intimate with, above your purpose, your potential, and all of that. When you, relationships are about compromise, but not compromise of self, right? So when you start doing that, and also like self-care, self-compassion, all of that falls under this category, right? When you don't draw boundaries, when you don't ask for what you need, when you don't give yourself you time, like all of that stuff, right? When you don't do that, you are wishy-washy. You are that's a really weird term. You are turning invisible. I don't know how else to explain it. So those are the 3 temperaments. Ask yourself if you are grasping. Ask yourself if you are adversive / judgmental, pulling from judgment. Ask yourself if you are experiencing delusion / confusion, meaning ambivalent, not having a strong sense of self, where you're going, putting others before you. And if you are doing all of those, or any of those, for too long, I believe that you will be suffering. Anyway, that is a little Buddhist psychology. John Kim, how do I say it? JohnKim-alized. That that was a little Buddhist psychology, in John Kim language, I guess. Thank you for listening. This is episode 200 and something, and I can't believe how many episodes I've done. I do 2 a week, and I always, as I'm talking, I'm always thinking about you, and the images I see is, you in the car, or you going to work, or you wherever, and I really appreciate you listening to my podcast. So thank you for listening, and be well. Hey, if you have a passion to help others and want to become a life coach, or you just want to acquire tools to change your own life, learn more about our Catalyst Life Coaching Intensive. We are an evidence-based training program with an amazing, authentic, vibrant community, and we give lifetime support. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, and click on Life Coach Training. Hey, before you go, if you like my ramblings and revelations and shares, I am now texting people directly to their phone. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com. If you want to subscribe, I'll be doing weekly text, 5 days a week, reminders, and also mindsets and exercises and challenges. And every week there will be a different theme, a different topic. So I hope to see you in your phone. And also, if you enjoy this conversation, I hope you help me spread the dialogue and help other people by sharing it. You never know what people need to hear. So if it's helped you, I hope you can help me help others. Thank you.